The very silly answer is I get to be a superhero without having to be on wires or do it, do all that. So I get all the wish fulfillment of the epic, crazy battles and the powers and everything, and I get to show up. I could show up in my pajamas if I wanted to.
Do you see a path forward with Debbie and Nolan in the future?
You're so long. Do I? Yeah. I mean, I think that's what we all have to confront. When you are met with trauma or tragedy or betrayal, how do you get through it? How do you get through it and to continue living in a peaceful way? And I think that we're going to see Debbie have to figure that out.
Robert, Sandra, Gillian, thank you guys so much for joining us today on the Movie Podcast. We are absolutely huge fans of Invincible. It is such a fun and amazing show, and we're so glad it's back for season 3.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Seeing the success of the first 2 seasons and kind of just the overall shape of the show, the way it's going, we had a chance also to speak to Simon last year about season 2, and we're curious for yourself, what are your goals for season 3?
Just to put the characters through their most intense paces yet, to really kind of, explore them emotionally and break them and put them back together in a fun way, and to really kind of elevate like what people expect from this show, what people think is possible in this show, to really kind of change the perception of what this show could be. I think we try to do that every season.
Yeah, you definitely see it with what we've seen so far, the new season. A lot of breaking and putting back together.
Yeah. The putting back together is
which is important.
Yes, that's Joey's one. Sandra, our Canadian queen.
Love it.
We are so delighted to be speaking with you. Obviously, we love you all.
No, I understand.
We love you all.
I understand.
The Canadian connection. No. Princess Diaries, Big Fat Liar, like those are like on repeat in our households growing up.
Okay.
When we first saw Invincible, it really is like a superhero series that we've never seen before. What was your first reaction to knowing what this series is going to be?
What do you mean knowing what?
I guess like when you first pitched the series, how did you feel like this is very different than really anything that was out?
For me, it was the character, knowing that the character is one of the only human characters, and understanding that that's going to be. I feel like I'm going to be able to understand that way in, because that's about representing the humanity, the morality, not that it's good or not that it's right? But also that the character Debbie will have to be a compass for Mark. And then ultimately, I was thinking about this, she is like the fulcrum for Nolan and Mark. Omni-Man and Invincible, that she is somehow in the middle, and they're going to have to, and they're kind of balanced around her.
Do you see a path forward with Debbie and Nolan in the future?
You're so long. Do I? Yeah. I mean, I think that's what we all have to confront. When you are met with trauma or tragedy or betrayal, how do you get through it? How do you get through it and to continue living in a peaceful way? And I think that we're going to see Debbie have to figure that out.
Speaking of relationships, Gillian, Mark and Eve, are you happy with where things are going here?
Well, things are not going currently with them, so I don't know how to answer these questions. You've seen more than okay.
We have, yeah.
Okay. I want for her to be happy. So I hope that whatever happens, she can find some happiness. But that first comes from loving yourself, as I learned from RuPaul. So I think Eve has to kind of figure out internally what she wants, how she sees herself in the world, how she wants to be. And then she can have a happy relationship.
What do you find is like the most fulfilling part about playing Eve?
Well, the very silly answer is I get to be a superhero without having to be on wires or do it, do all that. So I get all the wish fulfillment of the epic, crazy battles and the powers and everything, and I get to show up. I could show up in my pajamas if I wanted to. On the other hand, it's like, I think that I feel very lucky that I get to be a part of this show, because I think that Robert has created such a morally complex world where for the characters, the conflict is always as internal as it is external. And so that's very fulfilling as an actor. There's always so much more to explore. It's never repetitive, ever repetitive. And yet everything that happens, you feel the reverberations and the consequences of it for as long as the show lasts. And I think that's really cool storytelling wise. And so you're both balancing everything that's ever happened and the forward momentum of all the incredible surprises that happen every episode.
You know, this is our first time in Brazil, and it's been amazing so far. And I think seeing the fandom here is like unlike anywhere else in the world. Do you each have a fan favorite moment throughout your entire careers of that sticks with you, of an interaction with a fan?
Oh, that's a...
I have an answer for that. I was on a show called Community that had an incredible diehard fan base, and they were so diehard because we were on the verge of cancellation every week that we were on. And so they felt a real responsibility for the show, and they organized their own convention called Communicon, and they did it for 3 years, and I went every year. And that was incredible because, you know, it's one thing to, you know, spend the money, purchase a ticket, cosplay, everything to show up to a convention that's already been put on. But it's another level of commitment to organize your own, like book the venue, book the panels, organize the costume contest, everything. They also organize their own fan art show, and people sent in art from around the world. They like took over an art gallery in LA, and I went to that. So that is just like on another level for me, because they just felt such ownership of the show, like it was their show. So those moments were always really amazing.
There's for me, there's a cosplayer that was one of the first Invincible cosplayers. I believe his name is Bill Lundegaard. And he, I first saw him probably 10, 12 years ago. He was Omni-Man, and he had a son that was dressed up as Invincible and another son that was dressed up as Oliver. And, just the whole family. And I was just like, oh, and they're great costumes, super cool. And I was like, this is the coolest dad I've ever seen. His sons love Invincible, and he's dressing up as Omni-Man to like enjoy the con with them. And it's just so special. And I see them every single year at Comic-Con in San Diego. And the kids grow and grow and grow until I get the sense that I don't think that guy likes dressing up like Oliver. And so then one year it's Invincible, and then this guy's not in a costume, and then there's Omni-Man, and now his sons are adults.
Yeah.
And Bill, it was just at the previous Comic-Con as Omni-Man. And I'm just like, this dude was making his kids do that, which is pretty awesome. But it's great to see like fandom at that level, and maybe his kids enjoy Invincible. I don't know, but they sure aren't wearing those costumes anymore. I'll tell you that much.
But that also then that is no matter what in his sons,
it's like a family tradition.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, they're in therapy. Like, my dad used to make me wear these costumes.
That's a good one. That's a good one to talk to be in therapy about. I'm really excited for Brazil. It's first time here for me. I've never been to a Comic-Con ever. Never, ever. So I am really excited for that. I mean, I can't.
I'm going to push her off the stage and make her stage dive.
Good.
Oh my God.
She's got crowd surf. It's going to be great.
Yeah.
She thinks I'm joking right now. So when it happens,
We can't wait to record
still
it.
be
We'll be recording it. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, we'll have it ready for you guys.
Folks, thank you all so much for your time today. Sandra, I do have to say before we wrap up, my wife would kill me if I went home and didn't mention the fact that one of the main reasons she got into being in the medical world was because of Dr. Christina Yang. So for Dina, she's so jealous that I'm here, and she might kill me when I go.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you guys.
All right,
Thank you
cheers.
all.